My name's Mick Macgrath, Deputy Captain here at 83 Riverstone. I've been a retained member here for 23 years. Obviously being a retained member, I live in the region, so I've lived in Riverstone for 23 years. My father was the firey before me in the Army Fire Service, and my uncle was a retained, and he actually introduced me to what a retained firefighter was and got me interested. And obviously I wasn't in the Army and had no interest in joining the Army, so it seemed a really good idea to get in the Army, to get into the fire brigade, young 20-year-old at the time. So yeah, here I am 23 years later, still doing it and still loving it. Neither of them told me to join, it was my decision. Yeah, but as I said, I've simply grown up knowing nothing but it, and when my father left the Army Fire Service, he joined the Rural Fire Service, or Bush Fire Brigade back then, and was captain, and I used to go out with him and do burns and drills and so forth, and obviously got, you know, when I was old enough to do it myself and this position came available, I obviously went for it. I wanted to do it. Yeah, outside of when I'm here, I work in the fire protection industry, full-time fire safety compliance manager. So basically my job during the day is assessing buildings for fire safety. Apart from the kids, which take up a lot of my time, when I can get away from them, and preferably without the kids, I love camping, love fishing. So I try and do that, and sports especially. Love watching my footy and my cricket. Usually up the Central Coast, Foster region, that sort of area, give or take a little bit. It's the main place. Look, the biggest benefit is you're able to make a difference. You know, obviously during an emergency situation, most people are running away, but to be able to go in there and make a situation safe and make a difference to the community, whether it be helping someone that's had an accident, whether it be helping someone where they've got a fire that needs to be extinguished, certainly that gives you satisfaction. I think probably one of the better parts of this job, which I enjoy more than anything, is there's a community side of things. So doing your community activities, I've been involved in for about 10 years, what's called the Traffic Offender Intervention Program, where I do a presentation every 6 weeks to people who have offended through drink driving, things like that. Being able to give back like that's brilliant. It's really good to be able to see the faces on people that have them come up and say thank you, and knowing you've actually done something worthwhile, it's great. The DPP run the program, and it's delivered through who I do my presentation through is PCYC. I think as most men would probably say, their father. Obviously I grew up and my father was very important in my life. He loves football, I love football. He was in the brigade, I've gone into the brigade. An annoying thing, a lot of my family thing is a lot of his annoying traits, I've probably picked up a few of them too. So yeah, probably I'd have to say, certainly for the first 20 odd years of my life, up until I've become my own man, so to speak, with my own family, he was definitely the biggest influence in my life. I think within the retained ranks, one of the challenges is skill retention. Certainly, if you use a tool, for instance, or you have a skill set and you don't use it all the time, then it can get a bit rusty. So I think keeping your skill retention, which is why attending drills is so important. I think the other big challenge is balancing work life with the brigade life. A lot of the members, certainly here at this brigade, have done a lot of sacrifices and probably annoyed or upset, I won't say too harsher words on camera, but upset our partners and our kids repeatedly due to putting the brigade before the family at times. The first actual fire I got called to, I couldn't attend because all my gear hadn't been delivered. So I attended the station, I sat at the station, and all our personnel went to a house fire on Elizabeth Street, and our captain broke his wrist, and I didn't physically get to turn out with him for about 4 months after that. Biggest impact, and the one that probably the memory goes back to more than any other, is certainly Quakers Hill, the nursing home. myself and my partner at the time, Glenn, we both entered the facility. I think we were the third crew in there. So yeah, the emotional impact of that job and the physical exertion that we had to endure to do that was probably the hardest job I've done, and obviously the amount of life that was lost. Still to this day, I don't know whether the personnel that I pulled out lived or survived. I can only hope that they are among the survivors. Not knowing that, I think, is hard. But yeah, a week doesn't go by where I don't remember and I don't think back on it. I'd have to say for the better. Just look at the navigation systems now. Someone in comms can look up and see where every truck is, send the closest appliance because they know where they are. That's a positive. Obviously we've got ticks now, we've got your gas detection, we've got all those tools at our disposal where we didn't have to, so we can make better decisions to the situation and hopefully get a better outcome and a quicker outcome potentially. I think whether it be volunteering within the RFS or the SES or whether it be working through here, you don't join this job for the money. Okay? If any of us were in it for the money, we would have left long ago because we don't earn that much money. The sense of, as I said, giving, being able to go to a situation, deal with a situation, make it safe, and seeing the look on the public's, I suppose, face and their gratitude towards what we do, it is a satisfying thing. So if what you want to do is to provide that service, when people are running away from an incident, you want to run into it and make it safe, then you can't ask for a better job than this. Courage, certainly. Without courage, you can't do this job. I suppose respect and integrity is important. I suppose if you ask members of the community what they think of us, they would have very similar sort of viewpoints about what they see us as.